The
I'm doing
pull-ups?
some strength training at the gym. I'm doing like the push and the pull and all that stuff.
hey,
that's good.
I'm sorry, I didn't
I'm
know
only
that.
doing it like once or twice a week right now.
Now you need steroids.
I thought
No,
about it.
don't listen to
Art.
don't jump up to
But
Kyle's
no,
level.
I don't want to dismiss it.
Taylor,
out of
you're
hand.
basically a female. You realize that, right?
Am I a
calling me
gay?
female? No,
There's
can you
there's
do
lady UFC
steroids
fighters that hire-
legally?
Yeah, of course you can.
Yeah.
I do steroids.
Yeah, Kyle does
How do you do-
steroids and he's
You get all
jacked as hell.
jacked up. Yeah, you get all jacked
Wait,
up.
why was I
enormous.
told that it was fucking illegal?
No,
There
well,
are
all right.
Wrestlers. and-
No, if you're competing in something, it's illegal. But like, if you as a
the
man
deal.
just want to do steroids, that's totally fine.
Yeah, it's TRT.
Where do you get them though?
TRT clinic.
clinics.
Go
Google
to,
TRT clinic near me.
Don't do
And
that. Go to merrickhealth.com.
Or
Yes, go to
AmericaHealth.com. Sure, you can do that.
By the way,
And
shout out to
everything's
Derek,
legal?
who's on JRE
Yeah.
today. If y'all want to see
Is
the new
TRT
JRE,
the
get
same
Derek
thing as like anabolic steroids?
No,
Yes.
no.
Yes.
No. TRT.
Yes.
is
Why are
like-
you saying no?
Yes.
It's exactly the same drug in
It
a
is
different
literally,
dose.
Dude, TRT is way less intense than fucking Anavar.
it is an anabolic steroid. Anavar, you can get Anavar from TRT clinics. Like, what are you talking about?
You can, but I'm saying TRT as a therapy is lower intensity than like taking dosed out Anavar.
No, it is
Okay.
not.
Can you explain?
Well, I defer to your
like,
expertise.
So what
Testosterone is
exactly
an anabolic
started?
steroid?
What started happening? Like, what does it do? Like, yeah.
Okay,
when you do
start from
this.
the beginning. You can go to merrickhealth.com and via telemedicine. If you'll go do blood work. They'll evaluate your blood work. A doctor will. You'll do a teledoc visit with him. Go over your symptoms and your blood work, and he'll prescribe you TRT plus some other stuff. Maybe like they fixed an issue I had with my thyroid with supplementation.
Is this outside a network or does insurance cover this stuff?
That's a question for them. I just pay cash because they give me a discount because I'm cool like that. And if you do everything as quick, if you answer every email on time and you go to every appointment as quickly as it's given to you, you can have medicine in like 7 or 10 days or something like that. And you inject yourself. You inject yourself. I injected daily forever. A lot of people
mostly
inject.
helps with muscle recovery, right? Like, so you're able to do like
Okay. You will become a super physiological version of yourself. You won't be 5% better or 10% better. You will be a superhuman being. Like you will have as much testosterone as any human being should have, because it varies. Like it just like height. Like some people just have low T, and it affects their bone density, their strength, their muscle density, their healing factor, their emotions, their how depressed they can get about certain things, and lots of stuff like their sexuality.
But you have to couple it with exercise, right? Like not just you don't just shoot up. And
They
then
did
you
a
get the
study.
muscles,
No,
right?
no. They did a study where they had one group of men work out without testosterone, and they had another group of men not work out with testosterone. And the testosterone guys built more muscle over the test period, over the 3 or 4 months or whatever. Sitting
Without
and doing
working?
nothing
Really?
on sitting and doing nothing on T, you will build more muscle over 3 months than working out as a normal man. That's
How
what we're
the fuck
talking.
does that, like, how does the muscle even, I don't understand that at all.
You're-
Like, how does it
The testosterone is you ever see like a bull in a pasture and he's just
Yeah.
fucking jacked? Now, have you ever seen a bull do a pull-up?
I've been charged that.
He
by
is
Still
rife.
working.
Now, what you will notice is his testicles are the size of your fucking fist doubled up. He is so rife with testosterone. He is just maintaining that.
Sounds
That's
like
my
normal
old
sized testicles to me.
like old
Yeah.
old guys lose their
Pretty
T and they
small.
lose their muscles. like it will just maintain muscularity on your frame. But what you want to do is couple the testosterone with regular blood tests, perfect nutrition, hypertrophy workouts and calorie surpluses, and like maximize every like drip of that testosterone, all that advantage you're getting. And you can like really transform your body. Like you could you could look like what's Skarsgård. You could look like Scar. I think you're not as tall as him, but you've almost got like Skarsgård used to be skinny, and then he got on the testosterone for Tarzan.
Dude, you could look like
Tarzan,
you could look
and
like you.
Northman.
Yeah, you could go Northman mode with juice, because I think Skarsgård had to be on something, because I've seen him like normal and he's very flat and like not a muscular guy. He's very tall.
Kind of lanky normally.
Kyle is
Lanky.
constantly trying to get me on steroids and TRT. And at some point I'm going to give in, because I do want to unlock my genetic potential. I want to
That's what
see
it
I
is.
want to look like
how huge I
Ryan
can get.
Gosling in Crazy Stupid Love. And I don't think I'm asking too
No,
much.
I want to be like so big I'm like threatening to people walking down the road. That's cool.
I get it. I fucking do. I like at least once in my life. I'm right there with you.
And you're 6'3", and so you've got the bones for it. Like you just gotta. And I saw a tweet you made a few weeks ago, and I tried to. It was about fitness, and I tried to respond with like a good, like little breakout plan of like hypertrophy training, this, that, and the other thing. But I wasn't entirely sure what you were doing.
Hypertrophy. What's it called?
Hypertrophy. Yeah,
I downloaded the app by that Dr. Mike guy.
Okay, I'm not familiar with him, but like Kyle's 100% right. Like you can become a maximal man if you do the TRT and the Anavar.
You saw my like
or
before and after
TRT.
pictures, right?
Yeah, Kyle's
bro,
before and afters are
ripped.
crazy. He got shredded. He was so I've never seen a thirstier man.
Like I'm not trying to like toot my own horn, but it's the time period I did it that I'm trying to like talk about it because that's just like.
But that took you like a year, right?
Like 10 months, right?
10 months, I think. 8 months
and were you
of it.
Working out every day.
Yeah, every day for 10 months. I take one rest day.
I don't want to do that.
No. Here's the thing that you're not considering that Kyle actually convinced me fully of is that
real saucy.
When I was talking to Kyle about working out at the time, because I had already been working out and weightlifting for many years when Kyle started this, and he was like, Taylor, you don't get it. Like, soreness is not existing. Like it doesn't exist in the TRT steroid world. You don't like if I do I did a ton of pull-ups and dips and workout today. Like if I weren't in the regiment of doing this all the time, I'd wake up sore tomorrow. Kyle says that when you take these things, you can work out until like the point of absolute exhaustion and you wake up the next day, no soreness. Everything's already
I would do like delt raises. That would be the last thing I do. And I've read that you should your priority should be the first thing you do because you're most focused. But I'm like, no. I'm going to beat myself into the ground at the end. My most important thing is the last thing I do because that's the one I try to make myself cry on. So I would do these drop sets where I did my normal workout, which was like 45s or something, like delt raises. And then I would be on the 5-pound weights and the 2.5-pound weights. And I would just be lifting those 5-pound weights, screaming inside. And then I would like twist my wrists at the high points and like, yeah, all the way to the top and twist, jiggle, twist, hold. And just trying to hurt my delts as much as possible. I would go home and like, can't drive. Like my hands are like this. And the next day,
let's say you get like really fucking jacked. Mm-hmm. Is that muscle and let's say you just stop working out, like does the muscle stay there? Does it diminish somewhat or does it just go away?
It'll stay for a long while as long as you're hitting a requisite protein total in your daily diet. If you were to like work out all the time, and I mean taking the juice helps, but even like me, like I've never taken TRT, I've never done steroids or anything. I just lift naturally and I have for a long time. If I end up taking like a 2-month break, 3-month break where I just kind of lose interest in it, I can notice my muscles not being as tight, the vascularity going down, but it's also a thing of like trainability where when I jump into working out the next time, everything comes back like rapidly.
You've unlocked potential.
You don't have to go through that same like the first time you get a bunch of muscle, it takes so much fucking effort. It's really, really difficult. Unless if you're doing it naturally like I did, it took a lot of effort, like huge amounts of sustained progress.
That's the other thing I was going to talk about. Like you're talking about your weight. So I wanted to be like incredibly autistic about it. I got myself DEXA scanned every 30 days. So it's like an X-ray that takes your body fat percentage, and also your muscle percentage. So we could track down to like 1/10 of a pound how much muscle I was gaining per month. Some of the numbers we don't know what to do with. Some of the numbers I don't want to say because they're unbelievable. Like more than 10 pounds of muscle a month sometimes. Like shocking numbers. Like crazy. Like there was a period in the middle where it was like, man, everything is just clicking. Like I would go back and my incline bench was going up 10 pounds a week every week.
that's like for like the workout people listening to this, that's only a sustainable track if you're on anabolic steroids and TRT. But like another positive for you, Hutch, if you decided not to do that, you've got, because like, I don't know if you've ever like had a strict lifting regimen for a long time, but you've got 6 to 8 months of noob gains baked into that. And you will get, if you stick with it for 6-8 months, you will gain so much fucking muscle. It will be recognizable.
For the protein intake, they do 1 gram of protein per lean mass, right? Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Another rough estimate is 2 grams of protein per body weight.
They say different things. Like if I'm trying to bulk
per body weight.
Yeah, which is, compared to lean mass, you're not going to be too far on those numbers. Did I say pounds?
100 grams, 100
kilograms. What you meant?
100 a day. 100 a day is a good place to be. Moreover, like every meal, there should be something about the size of your palm that's protein. Like a chunk of meat.
I was doing that. I was tracking the macros, and so like my target was 160 grams, which is kind of a lot, but
that's too much for that's too much.
Wait, Kyle, you're saying 100 grams a day?
Yeah, he's like 180. He's like 200 pounds. Yeah, 100 a day is fine.
Oh,
what would you say, Taylor? What's your number?
I just know on my own body, like when I'm trying to bulk and get big, I'm trying to hit like 180. What he's doing, though.
I would have said 130. So those are ballparks.
Right? Yeah.
I'm not trying to go crazy right now. I'm easing into it with like the 10K steps is actually helping because that's getting a lot easier. And then when you do the cardio, it makes the strength training easier, right? Like you have more energy to do more sets, right?
Yeah, as long as you're not burning yourself out on cardio, like the way you should see cardio.
It's never going to be the limiting factor.
Yeah, if you're trying to build muscle, all of your energy should be in the weight training stuff. And if you have a little extra gas in the tank, then you can do some running and whatnot. But especially someone like you naturally have a lean build, you're tall. Like if I were you in your body and I was really trying to pack on muscle, I would probably disregard the running or elliptical or whatever you're doing. Still keep the 10K steps up because that's great. That's just baseline activity. But all weightlifting. All heavy compound lifts, or I agree. Like, you can get the weightlifting industry, the fitness industry obviously has a vested interest in making people believe it's much more complicated than it is. Whereas like there are people who have gotten shredded off of doing nothing but calisthenics, like jacked, huge. And it's not easy, but it's because they're doing unbelievably high volume pull-ups, incredibly high volume dips. Incredibly high volume push-ups, and all you need is a weighted vest in those situations to get big.
I got a buddy who does it's like
it's true.
He called it like it's like a dad routine, and all he does is literally just burpees, and he's fucking shredded, but he just does a shitload of burpees.
Fuck that, dude. Fuck that.
Dude, burpees suck, and
they do.
I don't know how you would get other than the push. Other than the push part of it, how would you get like a
burpees good cardio?
How would you get good anterior delts?
You don't. Burpees
I don't know about all that, but he's pretty jacked.
Okay,
you'll get jacked doing burpees, but like it'll hurt. Like I like to when I do things, I like to do them all the way or not at all. And so like the best way to do it if you're gaining muscle is to not be doing any cardio. You don't do any cardio because that's calories that your muscles needed.
But
like the reason you're eating it,
right?
Yeah, because what you're doing is not trying to build maximum muscle in minimum time. You're just trying to get fit. So you should just do anything that gets you like active and moving around. So lift weights and jog and walk and machine, but do 20 or 30 minutes of physical activity every day with your heart rate elevated and keep your calories maybe 200 or 300 below what you would normally do, like probably 2,000 for you a day, 2,200 a day. I would do 2,000 or 2,200 calories a day. And then I would watch the scale and I would see what happens to the scale. And then I do a little quick math to make that into 2 pounds a week. So 3,500 calories is 1 pound of fat. So you can do that math.
You should pivot your goal though, away from just being fit. Like get some big arms, dude. Get some big shoulders, a nice chest.
I'm doing it.
He's very tall and lanky, Taylor.
Yeah, it's going to be harder for him because he's tall.
You can't see, but I filled out quite a bit. I'm not like back in like the respawn area. I was very gaunt. Looked like I was on meth, but
you were very thin. Yeah,
I'm 200 pounds now, so I'm not like I'm
fair,
not like a small person. But I feel like I'm doing it the right way this time because I'm like, I'm going into it with realistic goals. You know, like the 10K steps is actually kind of fucking hard in the beginning because I just was not very active. And so now I'm definitely like noticing the gains. I actually like the walks. It's not really difficult.
That's great.
Listen to an audiobook. And then I'm slowly easing into the weight training. I think what I did before was I feel like this is a mistake that a lot of people make where it's like, all right, I'm going to get fucking fit. You know, it's the new year or whatever. And then these, you know, they set this schedule of like, I'm going to go 4 or 5 times a day. And then I would just fucking burn out after like 4 months or 3 months. I did a personal trainer for a little bit. And this time it's like a good pace for me right now. Like, all right, I'm not going to like make my life miserable. I'm just kind of just.
I want to throw this out there and get hurt. Push, pull, legs, rest made a huge difference for me. What I did prior to that was full body Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And the way it worked out for me is I'd work out pretty well on Monday. And then on Wednesday, I'd be like a little bit sore. I'd come into it at like 85%. And then by Friday, I really wanted to skip because I'm coming into it at like 65% sore from the 2 workouts earlier that week because I'm only giving my body 1 rest day. Push, pull, legs, rest, right? So you do push and then that push, those muscles aren't coming back for 4 days. They get a nice long rest. Do pull. They get 4 days. They're resting during leg day. They're resting during push day. Then
how
legs
many sets
and rest.
during one workout are you doing?
I work out for about an hour.
3 to 4?
Yeah.
So
do you do 3 by 15?
3 by 12.
I do 3 by 8.
Or 3 by 15. Yeah.
And when I do 12 easily, I raise the weight and I'm doing 8 again.
Do you guys do the rest? Yeah. The what is it? The reserve in what the fuck is it called? RIR, where you like you do it until you have and 3 reps in reserve. Reps in reserve. That's what I'm thinking of.
Oh no, I've never.
So I think
you go to failure.
So this is an important question. So
I go to failure.
So part of like building the muscle is achieving the hypertrophy, like, and it's really taxing your muscles to failure. I think so. The way and this was key to like the whole program that Derek gave me. I felt like was understanding that you're going to go like 3 sets, 15 reps or 12 reps is what I usually did on most things. 3 sets, 12 reps or 4 sets, 12 reps, whatever it may be. But the idea is that on that last set that you shouldn't be able to get the 12 reps. You should not. You should every time you go into the gym and you've got it. I have a book and it'll say incline bench, 3 by 12. And it says 195 pounds or whatever weight I'm putting on for that. And at the end, I'll have written the 4 days prior, what rep on the 3rd set did I fail on? And it'll be 10 or it'll be 11 or it'll be 9. It'll be something like that. And the only time I'm going to add more weight is when I'm able to get that 12th rep. The day I get that 12th rep, next week, we're adding some half-pound weights on each side. We're throwing up, now it's 196 pounds. And we're going to, but of course I'm going to gauge. I'm hoping again, I fail on the 3rd set between the 8th and 12th rep. And if I don't, then I adjust accordingly. I have fractional weight plates that are a 1/4 pound each. I can go down another half pound or I can go up another half pound, whatever I need to be. But the point is I want to just barely be able to get there every single time. And what I'm doing is I'm hurting myself the same intensity every single time. And I'm
rest in between the reps?
Between the sets. I varied it. I tend to be on the longer side and I change it depending on the workout. So on a big compound movement, like an incline bench press, 3.5 minutes probably. But during that 3.5 minutes, I'm pacing the whole time. I never stop moving. Because just from the lift, it'll make my heart rate skyrocket probably an extra 25 beats. And if I walk, I can like ride that 25 out for extra long and burn those calories in between. And I
just want to add on to what Kyle said about going to 12. I agree with everything he said. I would add, if your form isn't perfect to get to that 12, that's a failure. You haven't earned new weight yet.
Yeah.
Also, if you did it fast, right? Maybe you're doing overhead presses and you blast out 12 quickly so you don't have as much time under tension. That's a failure. You haven't earned more weight yet. When you can do 12, good form at your desired pace, that's a success. You've earned new weight.
Yeah. And the time under tension thing is key. Like volume equals size. That's what you talk to anybody who's huge, volume equals size. And that it means increasing the time under tension. And so like
I think
today,
that's true under leg. So can I interrupt you because there's some new science on this. So That's more true for lower body than upper body. If you think about those two muscle groups and how they're utilized naturally and biologically, it makes sense because your legs are meant for that constant day, volume. Everyday use. Yeah. And your arms are like, okay, here's the thing. Let me do that real strongly. Okay, we got plenty of time to recover now. So your legs, they need a lot of reps. I do 15. I went to 15 reps on legs a long time ago. It sucks, but it's true. Maybe even another fucking set of 15. Loser. Do you do
3x12 for upper body and 3x15 for lower? I do 3x15 for everything. It's very specific exercises. It depends, and I've got it kind of in my head. When I'm doing cable stuff, I usually just torture myself. I just keep. I'll just torture I'll get my workout, like I'll get my 3x12, and I'll be like, that didn't hurt enough. I didn't hurt enough. And I like cables because you can really like tune it in, and you can change the angle, and you can just step to the left a little or the right a little. You can face it, and you can hit your muscle in so many different angles, and it feels like you can just fuck your shit up. But with incline, I don't want to mess around like that because I got a lot of weight above my head. Or with overhead press or anything like that, where I'm lifting a lot of weight over literally,
my head.
I never
today,
do incline.
I was doing
for it.
Literally today, I was doing. I get bored of workouts, and so I try and pivot towards different strategies for working out to keep it novel to myself, so it's interesting. And so I've been trying to like lean heavily on a couple. I have a gym in my basement, so like some heavy compound lifts, but I'm trying to really up my dip and pull up volume. And so today, like before I started working out, I had a goal that I wanted to get like 120, 130 pull-ups total over the course of the workout. And by the time I got to like 110, my arms were so fucked that I was like, I don't think I'm going to make it. There's no way I can pull myself up on this bar. And so I went in my basement and I got a resistance band and I looped that around my pull-ups. And so I was like, all right, well, like if I stand on this large looping resistance band, it's going to make it way easier, but I'm still going to get those reps in. Like I'm still going to make that happen.
I got a machine for that. I'm sure you know.
It's sick. And I'm incredibly jealous.
Like
I love that machine you have.
It's not that bad. It's
the
pretty
one
slick.
thing I want to throw in,
like
the older you get, the more immaculate your form has to be. If it's not
I definitely focus on form. I look up on like YouTube tutorials. I'm pretty careful. I don't want to get hurt either. That's the other thing.
I love buff dudes for that. Dude, it's silly. But man, they'll do a video in 2 minutes that shows you the perfect form. They might also show some traps, like this is if you're doing deadlifts, this is a thing not to do. It's a pretty common mistake. Buff dudes they just have every exercise out there, every movement, and they're entertaining and they're right to the point.
Yeah. Dr. Mike, if you guys don't know who he is, he's super funny, and he's put out a ton of like really interesting he gets into the science of it too.